Okay, this video is for Vineras. You were asking me about how I made the display behind me, the little Pacman light setup, and so here you go. I'm going to show you how to do it, and if anybody else wants to know as well, you can watch it too. But yeah, pretty much I'll be just explaining how I put it together. It's actually really straightforward, very simple. Pretty much what I've got here is the back side of the setup. So it's probably quite chaotic looking back there, but it's not that bad. Here's the front, and if you look, it's just a very thick piece of cardboard that I used. It had an office chair in it at one time, and so I just cut out a large piece, and it's like a double thick piece of cardboard. Like normal cardboard seems to be about, I don't know, like this. It's not a very good, just very thin. Whereas this seems to have like two layers, so it's much stronger, and it's able to hold all these lights. So if you look, trying to show that on camera there, you can see that I have quite a few lights in here. This is actually just one strand of Christmas lights, but what I did is I rearranged them so that all the colors that I needed were in the proper order, so that when I put them in, I wasn't jumping all over the place, because otherwise you're not going to have enough length in your wire. So the way that I got that set up, though, so you can see pretty much, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I poked holes in for each of the lights ahead of time with a like a little poker thing. I'm not really sure what it's called, but it's like this, I don't know, it's just like a poker tool. And I made sure that when I poked the holes, that I poked them from this side. This is actually pretty important, I guess, depending on like if you're going to show it to people and you want it to look really nice. Poke the holes on this side, going inwards this way, because if you do it the opposite way, the cardboard is going to open up and poof out, and it's just going to look sloppy, and you don't want that. You want it to look good. So make sure you poke in this way so that it looks very clean. And also, it's very important that the poker is moderately smaller than the lights themselves that you decide to use, because when you push those lights into the cardboard, you want to make sure that you actually have like a little bit of a fight there to get them in, so that they're well placed. You want them to really stay put for you. So yeah, that's why I can tilt this around, and you'll notice that even though I'm holding it upside down, they're staying in place. They're very sturdily held there, so that's really good. So that's pretty much that, and then just kind of plan ahead too where you're going to plug it in. I have mine that plugs in, let's see if we can get this, yeah, right here at the end, and then I just plug that in up there behind me. And then the other thing I want to show you is getting the initial concept down, so let me just carefully set this on my desk over here. Give me just a moment, because I don't want to accidentally let it fall off my desk here. That would be bad. Hopefully that'll stay there. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, so next, don't move now. Next, you want to, well, not next. I'm probably doing this a little out of order, but I think you'll get the idea. So before you even go poking any holes at all, I would suggest, after you decide what kind of picture you want to use, let me just mark this here so that I don't lose my place in my notebook. Okay, that's good. Alright, so I'm just going to use a notebook here to kind of give you the example. What I did is I found a picture. I just realized could show you something else too. Okay. This is kind of I'm just doing this on the fly here. That's why I'm just thinking to myself, oh, I could show this too. So what I had is I wanted a picture, obviously, of Pacman, and so I downloaded a picture. I just went on Google and I googled Pacman, and I found a picture of him. So if I can't draw very well, so bear with me here. I'm going to draw a quick little. Oh boy, this is going to be bad. I know it's Pacman. It's supposed to be really simple, but actually that's not too bad, I guess. Okay. So there's our little Pacman there. The first thing you need to establish is how many how much of spacing you want to have in between each light. I use key points like here. Let's also do the ghost. So that can also really help with getting an understanding of how I did this. And the eyes too. Okay, there we go. So now we've got Pac-Man and we've got a ghost. The way that I did it to keep the spacing even and really figure out how to make it look good is on my computer when I had the picture drawn up there on my computer where I had the images that I downloaded. I just went into like Paint. You can use MS Paint or any other kind of like little paint program, and just use the brush tool or dot tool, whatever you have, the pencil, and make dots every few sections so that you can pretty much get your spacing done, and just try to keep it even. So like there's the top of Pac-Man, and I just went along, and then the other reason why I'm pointing out that this is important and I did the ghost is because obviously on the ghost you want to make sure that you capture the points that are very important to give the definition of the ghost. So for example, you definitely want to get this point here because this gives the definition of the little spike or whatever that is at the base of his ghostliness. I don't know, but I'm sure you get what I mean here. So another one here, and so on. And then again, just for making it look good and nice and even, we're going to go here because that's evenly spaced with this, so it goes all the way across, nice and even. And again here, even though my spacing there when I drew it, again, I think you get the idea. So then we'll keep going up here and getting that definition going. So I used very simple figures for this because the more complex the shape that you are trying to create, obviously the more points you're going to have. If it's something like Link from The Legend of Zelda, you're talking about a lot of different colors, probably a lot, like more than just one strand of lights possibly, unless you really simplify it. And then you've got the hat, and just it gets complicated very quickly, and that's why I chose Pac-Man too, because I wanted something that I could actually do. It's not like I do this for a living or something. It was my first attempt ever at making anything like this at all. However, so now that we're just going to keep going along. Now that we got a few points here, you just go through and do the rest of it. So just pretend that we did all of it there. So assuming that this is done, what you would do after having your initial picture on the PC, where you're like, okay, and I also say that you should do it on PC or on your computer, Mac, whatever, because if you make a mistake with your dots, pencil you can erase it and stuff. It's kind of annoying to deal with. But if you just do it on PC and you're like in your little paint program, then you can say, oh, okay, resize it this way and that way and whatnot, and then you can also move them around if you're not happy with it very easily. That's just what I prefer anyway. Then after you've got it set up there, just go print it off in the size that you want. I had to actually print mine off pretty large. So this, when you look at mine and you say, well, it looks like it's about roughly the size of my head. That's it is. It's pretty big there. So make sure that you set the dimensions so that your printer prints it off pretty large. That can be a little tricky sometimes. I don't know how much you know about that. But usually you can set that kind of stuff in the Paint program to what you need. And so, yeah, after you print it off, and then let's say that we've printed this off and it's much larger again, so just pretend that this guy is now much larger. You hold it up to the cardboard, take some, like wherever, when you're satisfied that on the cardboard that it is properly placed, take a piece of tape, and then just tape the piece of paper onto the front of it, the side with the lights that you see glowing. So tape it on there, and then that way you can just see exactly where you want to poke the holes, and then just take your poker or pen, whatever, and then just start going along each little hole right through, and then that's really it in terms of that setup. The other thing that I would highly recommend is make sure if you use Christmas lights or something like that, make sure that you have enough colors matching each point. Like this ghost here, if I want him to be blue, make sure you got enough blue lights ahead of time, so that you don't run out, because that would be like the worst thing ever if you're like, getting through this and then you don't have enough lights. So I did have to actually disassemble the strand. Like I didn't take it apart. I had to pop out the lights and then move them into different sections. Really easy. I used 2 Christmas light strands and then just pretty much salvaged a bunch of colors from the other one so that I could put them in this single line, and then I had enough colors that I needed, because originally I didn't. I think that's really it. It's really pretty straightforward. It's not that bad. The little heart in the corner, obviously that one, I enjoyed making the Pac-Man so much. I was like, man, I feel like it needs something else, and I decided what could I do? And the heart came to me. I was like, ah, yes, and then so that one the spacing is pretty much almost non-existent. Here, I can show you real quick. So that one's much smaller, so I guess that's actually a good example for you. So the Pac-Man, like right here, this is Pac-Man, very spaced out, about an inch apart or so. However, the heart over here, you'll notice a massive cluster, very close. So there you go. Otherwise, yeah, I don't think there's really much else, but if you do have any other questions about it, feel free to ask. I'm glad that, hopefully, that I could help you with this. And then just do me a favor. If you do actually make something out of this, can you send me a picture, please? I would love to see. And if anybody else watches this and is like, hey, I want to make something like that too, please let me know. Send me a picture. Just come on Twitch and send me a message on there or whatever, because I would like to see it. So, yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. See you later.